7 countries are involved in the search for Flight 370. One official calls the disappearance an unprecedented mystery. CBS News travel editor Peter Greenberg is in Los Angeles. Peter, good morning.
Good morning.
You know, we were all talking about this morning. I mean, how does a plane just disappear? They thought maybe the oil slick, they're testing that. They thought maybe they saw a life raft. It didn't turn out to be. Where is this plane, do you think?
Well, the speculation is rampant, as it is in situations like this. But keep in mind, the investigators cannot rule anything in until they systematically and painstakingly rule individual items out. And without anything to go on right now, they are truly puzzled, because in a situation like this, there can only be 2 or 3 scenarios that lead them to believe what initially happened. First of all, did the plane suffer a catastrophic structural failure at altitude? If that was the case, that might explain why there was no emergency radio broadcast or transmission from the plane. The crew couldn't do it. Or was there weather involved? But if there was a catastrophic failure in flight, then where's the widespread debris field, which you would have had, as you did with Pan Am 103, over hundreds of square miles?
Even if it was a terrorist attack, you'd have that as well, right, Peter?
Exactly. So with no widespread debris field, they don't even know where to start looking. And until they can start looking, they can only rule one thing out at this point, and that was weather. They know very much that the weather was not an issue yet.
Yeah, we kept hearing, Peter, over the weekend that it happened during the safest time of the flight, that the weather was good, apparently, and that they were 35,000 feet in the air. What can you tell us about the tracking system that they're trying to locate desperately now?
Well, every plane carries with it what's known as an ELT, an emergency locator transmitter. It's in the tail of the plane, and upon impact, it's battery powered. It has about a 48-hour lifespan in which it pinpoints its location to rescue satellites. Well, there's been no transmission. You may remember on the Air France plane going from Sao Paulo to Paris, they also didn't find the transmitter because the plane was in the water. So they're likely considering this plane is definitely in the water, and that 48-hour lifespan of the battery has long since been exceeded.
Peter, there's been a lot of speculation about terrorism because 2 of the passengers on board were traveling with stolen passports. But I was reading the front page of USA Today that says stolen passports are rarely monitored. In fact, this happens quite frequently. In fact, they say that last year, passengers boarded planes more than 1 billion times without having their passport screened against the Interpol database. How is that possible?
Well, this is certainly an alarming situation. It may turn out to be coincidental to what happened on the plane, but it's raising a lot of red flags, not just in Malaysia, but around the world. Keep in mind right now that you have GO teams going on there from the National Transportation Safety Board, and that includes security and safety teams, terrorism teams from the FBI. Then you also have metallurgical teams, engineering teams, propulsion teams, and the last one that's maybe the most important, the human factor teams. They are now going to be looking at the history of the pilots, both the captain, the co-pilot, and maybe the reserve pilot, to find out what was going on in their lives. Because the real puzzle here is not just whether or not the plane couldn't transmit it, maybe there was something on the plane that wouldn't transmit, or someone on the plane that wouldn't transmit. Pure speculation at this point, but that's what they're looking at.
It is a story everybody's focusing on today. Thank you, Peter Greenberg. Good to see you.